Oh, Denmo.
The king in the north!
Well, we're sitting out here having a fucking good time because there's fucking Queens!
Jack Denmo inspired me to come to McMaster.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode number 3 of the Jack Denmo podcast, the worst show in Toronto, but also the number one podcast in Canada. Today I'm joined by a veteran of the channel, Cringe Daddy, and we're going to be talking about Queen's homecoming. We're going to be talking about me getting canceled numerous times by numerous universities and newspapers. But right away, we're going to jump into something we were talking about before the podcast. Robert Greene, an absolute brilliant author, and his recent book, The Daily Laws, just came out. We were talking about the laws of human nature and the art of seduction. Continue where you were talking, buddy.
Buddy, I was just going to say, Art of Seduction is a good book if you haven't read that one.
Yeah, I have not, but break it down for me. Why is it good?
Like, one thing Robert Greene does really well is he mentions like historical examples of like people who have used the laws and like arts that he's talking about. So like he brings up like historical examples of like every type of seducer. Like he lists like the masculine seducers and the feminine seductresses. I think that might be the correct word.
So they have the other side too.
Yeah.
Like the women that seduce men.
Exactly.
Ooh, how long is that list?
It's pretty long.
I feel like it's a lot shorter than the other one though.
You know what? Like it's almost like as I was reading it, I was noticing like, oh yeah, like girls have like used this on me.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, so like I think the most classic one is like the siren, like, you know, the old like Greek mythology of
like the super hot chick.
just the absolute smoke show who's like, come here, daddy, you know that one?
The rocket, yeah.
Haven't experienced too many of those in the real world, but yeah, there's also like Marilyn Monroe is one of the most like famous seductresses of all time.
Is she a siren?
No, I forget the name of the one that she uses, but she's basically someone who brings like childlike qualities to like seduce people.
Like
so like
playfulness?
puppy dog eyes, playfulness, like a high pitched voice. These are like all examples of that.
Ooh, like ooh, you know, shit like that.
Like, hey, daddy. You know?
So she's a bit of a siren too.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, what about the one that just like is nice and supportive but not as good looking? Like, what do you call those?
Fours, buddy.
Robert Greene wrote a whole book about fours.
Yeah.
It's funny because the other day I was watching Michaela Peterson's podcast. Shout out to Michaela Peterson. She's based out of Toronto too. And she had Robert Greene on, but she had him on via Zoom, which I think is not the best way to interview people. But, you know, buddy lives in the mountains in the United States somewhere. He was trying to break down what her seduction type would be. And I didn't make it that far in. So I'm going to have to finish that episode.
Bro, was he wheeling?
No, he wasn't.
Kind of sounds like, hey, like, let me figure you out a little bit.
Dude, he has like 4 wives out in his village up in wherever he lives, man.
Yeah.
That
Laws
guy,
of power, bro.
Bro. I feel like that guy has like a cult following, man. Everybody's read his books. You know, everybody that knows what's up.
I feel like it's almost like Fight Club. Like if you've read his books, it's almost like you're not supposed to mention that you've read them. It's like, yo, I've read 6 books on how to manipulate people into doing anything I want them to do.
We're talking about this. Every time somebody fucks us over or does something to us, we go, oh, they've read the laws of power.
Yeah.
Or like you'll call me and be like, oh, I think Buddy's trying the laws of power on me right now. He's doing this.
You can like point out like which law they're using too.
Yeah. I think it's really funny the way you found out somebody was doing that shit to you because you played Monopoly allegedly with them and you're like, whoa, what the fuck?
Bro, that guy, he snaked so hard in Monopoly. And it was like things that there were always signs of, but like I give people the benefit of the doubt a lot of the time. But playing Monopoly, bro, like I've never seen anyone play Monopoly with like such a level to like manipulate people with such a long-term vision of like how it will deliver the ultimate conquest.
Do you think board games go hand in hand with like manipulating people?
They have to, right? Especially a game like Monopoly where there's like trade involved, where you're like, you can like pretend to be nice to people, like you're doing them favors, when in reality, you're just going to fuck them like 10 turns down the line.
Catan's like that, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking love Catan.
You're a big Catan guy, eh?
I love Catan. I never played board games as a kid besides, you know, like Monopoly and Risk or The Doctor. Or what's the one where you got all the little faces and you got to guess who it is? Remember that game?
Oh, Guess Who?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't play them once high school started because I'm like, you know, girls don't like this shit. I got to be cool. Board games are for losers.
You got to play like Halo at that point.
Exactly. But then I started playing it when I moved to BC. I got hooked on it, man. Me and like 8 or 9 guys and girls would play it like multiple days a week. And it would get heated, dude. People get fucking competitive about board games.
That was a good setup you had out there though, eh? Like
Yeah.
Living with like 7 or 8 people who are all just down to play Catan at any point. Sounds like paradise, bro.
I know, right?
Like in a fucking mansion in the
Breaking
hills.
stereotypes of Catan, man.
I played RuneScape though. I got like really into RuneScape at one point.
Yeah, that's the online version of Dungeons and Dragons.
Bro, like that's where I got my first girlfriend. Was on RuneScape.
Really?
I never met her in real life, but like I gave her like a golden wedding ring.
Yeah.
In the town square. And then she took it and ran away.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
RuneScape.
I spent a lot of money on that ring too.
Yeah, I used to play Habbo Hotel a lot. Never dated any girls off it though.
Yo, you've got like a crazy Habbo Hotel story. Can you tell that? Like how you would like.
I feel like it's like a 3-hour story.
Allegedly. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of allegedly.
There's a lot of allegedlys on that. I'll give the full story in detail another day. But essentially, yeah, I played Habbo Hotel when I was in like high school. I actually started playing it when I was like 8 years old because, ironically, my dad, he read the newspaper at the time. He saw a newspaper article that's like new game for kids in Canada, and he's like, "Hey, you should check that out." So I was 8, and I signed up for this game. And basically, how the game works is like you have rooms, and you can build the rooms, and you could like play games within. But essentially, what it ended up becoming is like an online economy, right? You had people that traded. You had special rares that were not released for everybody. There was casinos in the game. People would use it to send nudes to each other. And I was like 10 years old. So I just learned all of this really quick. And I was like, this is fucking nuts. Anyways, though, I ended up on the dark side of like hacking and stealing accounts, allegedly, when I was about 12 years old. And I made a lot of in-game currency. And then I fucked off for years. And then around the age of 16, 17, I came back and I realized all this stuff was allegedly worth thousands of dollars of money in real life.
Whoa.
Yeah. So in high school, I started selling Habbo Hotel furniture. And every day I was getting Subway, fucking Gino's Pizza. I was laughing, dude.
Wow.
Where did it all go?
Here we are today.
Yeah.
Explains a lot, buddy.
So this week, assuming this gets up before Saturday, we just finished the 3rd and final Hoko of the year. You know, absolute movie. It's been an absolute. I feel like the Lord of the Rings, man. It's like the fucking. We did the Fellowship. We did the Twin Towers or whatever they call it. Is that what they call it?
The 2 towers.
The 2 towers. Fuck, canceled. And then Return of the King at Queens, dude. And boy, oh boy, was it a good turnout.
The Kingston PD showed up, eh? They showed up in force.
They spent a lot of dough this time too, allegedly, from what I've heard.
I feel like every cop in Ontario was in Kingston this weekend.
Yep, they had Northern Ontarians come down here, which, you know, they had Durham region guys. Trainboy actually filled us in on all the OPP. But yeah, they spent, I think, $350,000 extra to bring police out. Yeah.
But man, like if you look at how much money Hoko makes, like that's light.
Pennies in the bucket.
Light work.
Oh, this way you had light.
Light.
Dude, all the cops were super chill that we spoke to too. Like, cause you know, they're all beauties from like Durham region or something.
Yeah.
You know, you got some Fort Francis police.
Yeah.
You know, they'd be pleased to work once a week out there. And they got to come down and just watch the shenanigans, you know. They got it too. Like I went up to them and I was like, I have a sword, but it's not real. So please don't have 8 dudes bear spray me and put knees on my back, you know. And they didn't. They were super cool to me. These guys were like, yo, like, you know, try and keep the crowd doing good. I told them that we're like spreading a pretty positive, responsible message. And they were like, yeah, if you could do that, that'd be fucking great. But as the day turned, we saw a lot of police doing not so cool stuff.
Dude, we weren't there for this part, but I saw videos of police in full riot shield gear walking down Aberdeen.
Yeah.
That's intimidating, eh?
Yeah, we always get out of there before it goes violent somehow.
Yeah. I feel like we bring the peace, but once we leave, it turns into chaos.
Yep.
Which brings me to a point. Like,
clouds.
we tried to go there and make amends with the police and like be organized and work together, allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
And how did that go, buddy?
Well, they ghosted me. Sent a message to Kingston police, like, guys, you know what? I make absolutely ridiculous, degenerate videos on YouTube for the greater good of society and mankind. But I wasn't going to tell them that. I was just like, I'm going to be here. We should link up, maybe film some kind of content that we're in cahoots, you know, take a picture of me and a big jacked policeman with a double thumbs up saying, hey guys, respect police. They didn't reply. They didn't entertain the idea.
Whoa.
Yeah. But I will say, I will give them benefit of the doubt. Today I was in a news interview with the Kingston local newspaper. Shout out to, what's it called? The Wig?
The Gazette?
No, something like that. The Kingston Special. And basically I told the reporter, like, yeah, like I actually reached out to the police just as a gesture of good faith. And she's like, oh, like, how'd you contact them? And I was like, the media relations email. And she's like, yeah, they never answer that. So maybe they just didn't get it, you know?
Sure.
You know,
Let's go with that.
maybe when they're snooping through all my content, they'll see this and be like, hey, you know what? Let's check the inbox. Who knows? But yeah, I think a picture like that, even if it only means one less dude throwing a beer bottle at a cop car, that'd be a victory for me
Yeah, bro.
and the police.
Well, hey, man, let's talk about, you know, the relationship between the police and the crowd there. For a bit, it was pretty good. But then the kids wanted to get on the streets
Yeah.
and shit hit the fan a little bit.
Yeah, it was interesting because it was absolute fucking monsoon season for the first 2 hours of the day. Like normally people have mimosas and pancakes going early. And by 9 a.m., it was a flood outside. There was a dude literally, like you said, kayaking on the street. Cars were buried underwater. And it looked like it wasn't going to happen. It was one of those, like, I said it in the video, I think I cut it, but I was like, if it's ever not going to happen, this is it. It was literally a flood,
Yeah.
right? Pouring rain. People were scared. There's a lot of uncertainty.
Especially coming off a reading week.
Yeah.
You know, like who's even going to be there?
Queens has never done a Hoko during reading week before, but they only did it allegedly because when there's reading week, there's less people there. Everybody's gone at the cottage, you know, because everybody at Queens is rich. So nobody would be there. And I remember when I told people I'd be there the 16th, I was getting messages like, bro, nobody's going to be there. Everyone's going to the 23rd.
We'll see about that, eh?
Yeah.
Holy fuck. Dude, it was lit.
It was crazy.
It was insane. Like the rain couldn't stop Hoko from happening.
In the fucking, like, the weather was nice at Mac, which I think was a big impact. Also, you got people that were locked up from like Toronto, because Toronto's pretty close. But like Kingston's a mish, dude.
Yeah.
It's pretty far. But I think what happened with Kingston actually is something we didn't see at the other Hokos. You had Ottawa people there. Because Ottawa's like, what, 2 or 3 hours?
Yeah.
It's pretty close.
Well, I actually met a lot of people from Montreal
Yeah.
there as well. They made the drive.
Mm-hmm.
Because they know, like, Queens has always the best Hoko every time. And
Yeah.
maybe it's because they go last, but man, they end Hoko season with such a fucking bang, bro.
I think if Hoko was like the first one was Queens, then it'd be a different story. But they watch Mac and they watch Western and they go, oh, okay,
Right.
bet, you know?
And I will say, like, I've been seeing a lot of people from Western commenting, DMing, making TikToks, talking shit about Queens, saying, hey, you know, we would have had the best Hoko, but, you know, it rained. Well, like, Queens rained harder. Like,
Did they really say that?
We would have had the best Hoko, but there were so many cops at Western. Like, there were 3 times as many cops at Queens. Like, Western, stop fucking fooling yourself. You guys are not the best party school in Canada. You're far from it. And you, like, I love Western. You know, like, I've had many good times, day kills, drinks, etc. there. But, like, Western, you got to fucking step your game up. Like, the people who laid the foundation over decades of tradition of Hoko are rolling in their graves right now with how pathetic Western Hoko is. So that's all I'm going to say about Western. Get your shit together.
Western, definitely, there's a lot of uncertainty, man. They're riding into the territory of, is it going to happen, right? As soon as Western happened, Mac's like, all right, let's go.
Yeah. Bro, dude, Mac was lit.
Mac was crazy too. But a little bit too wild, a little bit too much. You know, we beat that horse to death last time. But this time, I don't think there was any flipped cars, you know?
No.
I think all the hooligans that probably would have done that stuff, or at least some of them, watched the Mac video, watched us condemn the shit out of doing stupid stuff like that. And they're like, you know what? Not going to flip cars. Not going to throw a bottle at the police today.
Yeah.
So
I will say, too, like, the IQ at Queens is probably a couple points higher than the average Mac IQ.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
And it's not necessarily like the students at Mac, I'd say, are on par. But the people that were at Mac Hoko, no.
A lot of Hamilton locals.
A lot of rapscallions. A lot of hooligans there.
A couple Brampton mans for sure.
Yeah. Kingston, the average IQ at Queens Hoko is like 140.
Minimum.
Like the police weren't as smart as the students there.
No.
Like they were sharp, dude. They're all calculated. Like, you know, when they jump off of a roof into a pong table, like they already measured the gravity that morning. They already know, like, you know, the circumference of the way they fall on the fucking
Yeah, they
grass.
know the luminosity.
The impact. Like, okay, well, if I accelerate from 12 feet, then I'll be able to smash this table ever so elegantly.
Bro, they're freaks, man.
Did you see the Spider-Man guy?
Yeah.
Jumped off the roof backwards, assuming people were going to catch him. Fucking nuts.
Dude, that's a trust fall if I've ever seen one.
Guys, I think the caption was like Spider-Man Homecoming or some shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the name of the next Batman movie, right? Homecoming?
Yeah.
Right.
They're making a new Batman movie, eh?
Oh, really?
I feel like they're rebooting the series a 5th time. It's not James Bond. You can't just have 12 Batman.
Who's gonna be Batman?
It should be Christian Bale, bro.
He's the only Batman I know.
Well, they did Ben Affleck Batman.
As if anyone fucking watched that. Like I didn't know that.
Yeah, Batman versus Superman's pretty fucking stupid. Superman could rip Batman in half if he wanted to.
That'd be a quick fight.
That'd be effortless, bro.
Yeah.
That'd be like, a rock versus snail.
Yo, is Batman like the weakest superhero of all time?
He's the only superhero. He's got armor.
Makes him actually kind of sick in a way.
What about Ant-Man or Flash? Do those guys have any armor? They look like they're just in a little suit.
They're just like good at dodging shit at that point.
Like Spider-Man without, web. I think Batman could give him a good run for his money.
Yeah.
Batman versus Spider-Man. They could do like that's more realistic.
Yeah, bro. That'd be the collab of the century, eh?
Superman versus anybody. Superman wins. That's why he's Superman.
I want to see them like rap battle more than I want to see them fight.
What does the kryptonite do to Superman?
I heard it like I didn't watch Superman as a kid, but like I feel like it makes him like shit his pants.
Yeah.
And he has to like go to the dry cleaner.
That's it.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Imagine shitting in tights though. Like that would kind of suck. Eh?
It would be interesting doing a Hoko dressed up as superheroes, because like a bunch of Spider-Mans and Supermans run. Oh, Batman.
The Avengers.
Oh,
at Hoko.
That would be sick,
dude.
One thing.
What Avenger do you think you'd be?
I don't know enough of the Avengers, man. I like Iron Man. He's an Avenger, right?
Yeah, he's like the Elon Musk of the Avengers for sure.
Well, Elon Musk went to Queens, so
it's only fitting, right?
I don't write the script.
I think I would be probably the Hulk, because I've been working out a little bit.
If the Hulk had a fucking barrel.
Yeah. If the Hulk had a serious dad bod going on.
And no anger issues.
Just an addiction to shawarma.
Yeah. There was a couple Hulks there at Queens. A couple huge rugby lads. There's a lot of dudes that got into fights too, and they were like coming up and telling the post-fight interview. It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Well, didn't you interview like two guys who fought each other allegedly?
No, they didn't fight each other.
Oh, okay.
The one guy confirmed with me. It was different.
The story's kind of like lined up a little bit.
I know. I could have edited it to make it look like they were the two that got into the fight.
Yeah.
But I didn't, because it wasn't. The one guy got into a fight. I have no idea why. The other guy got into a fight because a fucking flying beer can came across the street, hit him. And this dude laughed. And then the guy turned around and was like, yo, do you throw that? And he's like, no. And then they started fighting.
That's the stupidest reason to fight of all time.
I know.
But, dude, can we talk about the guy who got dummied by the cops?
Oh, yeah.
Because this guy's a legend. So he was actually staying at our hotel.
Yep.
Allegedly, the Econo Lodge.
Yeah, we met these guys at the last party of Canadian history, Queen's POCO 2020.
Right.
Patrick's Day Hoko, which actually took place the day after the pandemic was announced. The Friday, the stock market crashed. Everyone's like, the world's over. There's this new virus that's killing everybody. Queens is like, one more party.
Queens is like, hold my beer.
Yeah. Queens is like, hold my fucking life-changing STEM program.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those guys we met last time at the Econo Lodge. And this year we ran into them, same thing. They were staying at the same place and same crew. They went out there. We ran into them in the crowd. They shottied some beer. Oh, no, they had piss bags. You know those spring bags?
Oh, yeah, you were slapping those, right?
Yeah. So that's a little tradition we do, slap the bags in Canada. 4 slaps in a row. And then 4 guys got knighted.
Dude.
Yeah, 4 knightings. And then after that, allegedly, how it was on the street was it was kind of like the Great Sea when Moses parted it. You had all the people on one side of the street, on the people on the other. People were walking up and down the sidewalks, but drinking on the grass, because legally you're allowed to drink on the grass.
Allegedly.
But sidewalk, then you're in public, right? So the police were basically getting people off the sidewalk. People were on grass and lawns. And then this one dude started to chant, allegedly, and said, what did he say? Go to the street? Or?
To the streets.
Yeah, so to the streets.
To the streets.
Yeah, something like that.
To the streets.
Yeah. It can't be more than 3 syllables. Then it's too much.
No.
To the streets now.
High level.
To the street. Yeah. Too many caveman there to get that one going. But yeah, so he went into the streets. You saw it? I came after. I was in the crowd.
So bro, basically he was chanting to the streets, and a couple of students allegedly started walking off the lawns onto the sidewalks, and just both parts of the Red Sea started to collapse a little bit, come onto the streets, and this guy was in the street going to the streets, allegedly.
Yeah.
Basically perpetrating the entire thing.
Well, that's a bit of a stretch, but yeah.
I don't think he would. I wouldn't call him orchestrating a alleged street party, but if it was anything, it was that. And bro, the cops just first off, two or three on one him, held his arms, stop doing what you're doing kind of thing. And then it turned on to a 4-on-1, and he's just like kind of talking to them, but they're like, you know, they're bodying him, like they're grabbing him and shit. And then at one point, next thing I know, like he's getting like hip tossed to the ground.
Ooh.
And now there's like 5, 6, 7, 8 cops just knees on his back.
Whoa.
She was fucked.
He was pinned down, eh?
He like every muscle in his body had a knee on it at that point.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Why did they need 8 cops? I mean, he is a unit.
He's a big guy.
He's a big boy.
I think it's the eyebrow ring. It's just a little too intimidating. You know?
Yeah.
That looks like he has a tribal tattoo on his arm.
Those are rare, bro.
Yeah.
So did he resist when they tried to bring him down?
I think he was yelling. He's like, "Get off me!" Like, and then so his friend,
Yeah.
he's with a bunch of other like Kingston local looking guys. you
Yeah.
know? And they start rushing on the road, and they're like, "Yo, get the fuck off my boy!" So the cops like start bodying those guys allegedly.
Yeah.
I don't think they got arrested. I think they just got kind of like held.
Yeah.
But they basically ripped that guy off the street, put him into a van, and sent him to jail.
They ripped his buddy down too, eh?
But what I will say is, people got so mad about the police treating that guy that way that they gave him what he wanted in the first place. They hit the streets.
Yeah.
And bro, like people were like pelting fucking beer bottles at the cops while this was
Really?
going on. Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Which you never want to see that. You never want to see that. But this guy kind of died so we could live. Like he died so we could have Hoko. So shout out to that guy, whatever his name is.
He's a Hoko hero.
Truly. He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually invited him to be one of the guys in Virgin Squad, allegedly.
Whoa.
Allegedly. We'll get to that later.
Right.
But I do remember when he stood up off the ground, when they took him to the squad car, the whole crowd cheered, you know?
Yeah.
Because his boy was screaming into the mic like, "That's my fucking boy." He would say, "Free Chris." "Free my boy Chris." And then, yeah, dude, the street erupted because all the police that were keeping people from going onto the street, once, like, you know, 12 of them took one guy away.
Yeah.
Those were the 12 preventing people from jumping onto the street. And as soon as they were gone, huge opening. And then after that part, it was just like an avalanche.
What are you going to do at that point?
Nothing, dude.
Yeah.
Everybody came in.
Let it happen.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I think, you know, that was their plan all along. Like, they were always going to let it happen.
yeah.
But it was just a matter of, like, how long can we keep it from happening?
I think for a moment the cops thought they had the streets on lock. Like they were they were patrolling, like like pushing people and shit.
Really?
Allegedly, like, you know, definitely letting them know like, hey, get off the street.
The ones we spoke to were so fucking cool.
To you, bro, like the one was trying to give me a $2,000 ticket for nothing.
For what?
She was getting aggressive with me too. Like she was kind of cute, so I was like wheeling, obviously.
Yeah.
But she was like, "Yo, like that megaphone. Like if I hear it, if I hear it, $2,000 ticket, and we're taking your megaphone."
Wow.
I was like, "Well, what if I just like go wah 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 wah?" You know? And she's like, $2,000 ticket.
That's so weird because one of the other police we spoke to, they remember when we came back, it was funny, guys, when we were walking over to the street from our parking spot, usually like a little army forms of people like, "Oh, they're going to Aberdeen." Because a lot of people don't know where the party is, so people literally just turn into herds. It's like Walking Dead.
Yeah.
But behind us, we had a herd of fucking police. Like we had all the OPP. There was like 30 dudes in fucking neon bright high vis right behind us.
Huge flex.
It was a big flex, dude.
Yeah.
Got it on video too. And I talked to them, and that's when I told them, like, "Boys, this isn't a real sword. Don't body me," you know?
Yeah.
And I told them, he pointed at the megaphone. I was like, he's like, "You know, if you can keep it safe, then like power to you. We're just trying to keep everybody safe." And I was like, "Yeah, might have to allegedly get on the little megaphone to keep people safe." And he's like, "All right, yeah, that's cool."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, but all in all, like I gotta say, it was a pretty chill Hoko. Like there were a couple fights, there were a couple beer bottles thrown, but like
Yeah.
compared to Mac, I'd say that you had like as lit as it can get without getting out of fucking control. You know, like Mac, like we went to Queens at night. It was a little sketchy, but not that sketchy.
No.
But when we went to Mac at night, like it was the purge, bro.
Bro, Mac at night. I remember when we went to grab the intern train boy, there was an intersection where there's people on every corner basically filling the fields, and there was like 4 cruisers in the center of the street, and a fight had just broken out there, but literally the police were surrounded. Like normally the police have a perimeter, but there was like, I don't know, 6 or 7 cops in the middle of the street, and then there was just a herd of people around. Yeah. And I remember there was a guy yelling, "Suck your mother," to a fucking cop. Felt so bad for the cops.
I think that was Debbie.
Man. No. Different build. But yeah, man, it was bad. Like it could have gone any way there. But I feel like we mentioned before, I think Queen students, a little bit more IQ. You know? They're not trying to do anything dumb. You know, they know what happens if they flip a car.
Yeah.
Queens is probably also the strictest school. Like, you thought Western was strict?
Dude, I was on TikTok today, and the Queen's University account put up a post saying if you're caught throwing a party, $10,000 fine. If you're caught at the party, $2,000 fine. So like, this isn't Kingston, the city of Kingston police. This is Queen's University telling their students like, you will be fined, like telling them not to party.
Just add that onto tuition, eh?
Yeah.
Party fee.
Bro, we were at a house and they said they have a $100,000 tab for throwing parties.
Really?
Yes.
Was that the one that anthem one?
No, so we tried to sing at O Canada at
the
a
other
house
one.
before that. Yeah,
That was the
And
one.
They were saying we have $100,000 in pending fines right now. If you sing O Canada, we'll have another $10,000 fine. We can't do it.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so they're facing a 6-figure fine for throwing parties. But like, bro, if you live on Aberdeen, like your house is a party by default. Like you have no choice.
I don't think you can get a fine for singing the fucking Canadian anthem. Think about it. That must be the exception to the rule. Like, Your Honor, I'm guilty. I sang the Canadian anthem, the theme song of our fucking country. Arrest me. Come on.
It's a sad day for Canada.
That's an awful day for Canada, bro.
You know, we're probably not far off though, eh?
Yeah. And you know, what a fucking megaphone. Some people can scream louder than that megaphone, straight up. Like, we dialed it down.
Connor can whisper louder than that megaphone.
Yeah, the thing's on low battery. Dude, you guys have seen the fucking microphone after 2 Hokos. Looks like it's been living in a swamp for 20 years. It smokes cigarettes.
So greasy.
Dude, it's falling apart. Things fucking, you know, that thing has all the COVID, allegedly.
Yeah.
But it's been like that for years, you know?
It's got the Denmo variant at this
People screaming on the phone. Yeah, the Denmo 19 variant.
Yeah.
Fuck's sakes.
Dude. Bro, Queens at night?
Yeah.
You kind of left early. You left at like, what time did you leave Kingston at?
Midnight.
And you drove all the way to Hamilton from Kingston to edit a
3.5
video.
hour drive home to edit for you guys. All right, show some fucking respect for Father Denmo.
I don't think people know like how hardworking you are as a YouTuber, bro.
No.
Like you didn't, you know, just hire a bunch of editors to just like, all right, here's the fucking footage. Like,
Bro, who else can do a 64-minute movie in 2 days?
like Tarantino couldn't even do that shit, you know?
Buddy, fucking Quentin Denmentiro, Taron Denmo.
Darren Denmo.
No, that guy's a real artist. Honestly, I just make stupid YouTube videos. I mean, the movie's pretty good, but it's just a giant ad for the podcast.
But bro, like I'm saying, like I've seen your eyeballs explode multiple times. Like people
Yeah.
don't understand. Like at Hoko, we wake up early, film the video, go back to the hotel, and the boys are like swiping on Tinder, like drinking, like fucking around, showering, whatever,
Yeah.
eating shawarma, and you're just on your laptop, like grinding on footage.
Yeah, man.
Like you're a fucking workose when it comes
It's
to
time
Hoko.
sensitive,
I'm swearing
bro.
a lot. I'm sorry, Daddy Denmo. Like I know Dad hates it when I swear on this thing.
So funny, yeah. My dad called me. I'll tell you why. That's a good segue.
Okay, here we go.
But he's like, hey, I checked out the podcast. I was like, yeah, do you like it? And he's like, yeah, you fucking swear too much. He's like, well, I guess that's like what your generation does, eh? And I'm like, yeah.
Fuck, eh?
Yeah. But the reason he called me is because, you know, a lot of police have been trying to cancel me for a while, snooping on me, and they have been sending police to my house whenever something happens. So, like, if I get banned for a prank, you know, when I got banned from Western, they sent police to my house, but also my parents' house. So even, you know, the London police basically were like, we want to send a message, so we're going to send police to your parents' house too. The actual OPP were local that picked up the call, and when they got there, they're like, look, we don't want to fucking be here. You know, we're just here because Kingston, somebody high up needs us to be here. But anyways, the reason my old man called me is because basically I got ticketed by Western University for several $1,000s, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah. And they sent the mail to my parents' house, even though I don't live there.
Whoa.
Yeah. So my dad, he opens it and he calls and he's like, why did you get a fucking ticket? And I was like, what the fuck? We actually have the ticket.
We thought it was like a parking ticket.
Pass me that. Yeah. So he actually opened the mail and read it out to me on the phone.
Dude.
We thought it was, well, it's from the parking office, the Corporation of the City of London parking office, right? So it technically, allegedly is a parking ticket, I guess. But it's called the Administrative Monetary Penalty, Mailed Penalty Notice, Municipal Law Enforcement and Parking Services. And my dad's like, did you park where you shouldn't have, like on Brofdale? No.
We know what happens when you park on Brofdale. We've been there.
Nobody parks anywhere near that street, bro. May as well park at Fanshawe. But anyways, yeah, offense location, Brofdale Ave, and the offense description was used closed highway nuisance party. PH 18, section 6.3. Offense time 12 o'clock. I'm not going to say the officer badge number. $500
That's a pretty heavy penalty.
for walking down the street. You know.
So they're trying to say that like you threw a party on a closed highway? Is that what they're saying?
Well, they've said on the news I invented Hoko, but now they're saying via the mail I invented Hoko.
I think it's official now. It's in writing.
It's legit. We got two tickets.
Oh, there's another one?
Yeah, $800.
I feel like I don't know this.
You know, a good story development. So this one is for offense location. I'm not going to say the address. Allegedly 17 something Brofdale Ave. Offense description, attended nuisance party, PH 18, section 4.1. So these fans had a fucking house and they had a keg in their fridge. And they're like, Denmo, please come and drink a beer out of a pint glass from our fridge. And I did.
How do you say no to that?
Is it
It's
not
like
the place they're
un-Canadian to
renting?
give you a ticket for that shit.
Yeah, they made their own fucking beer and they wanted me to have some. So I took a pint glass and there was a Western Gazette or whatever, one of the newspapers there.
The
There's
Western Tribune?
something like that. The Western Spectator. So she was outside and she wanted to ask me some questions. So I was like, all right, I'll go and do this interview. So I went out with my pint of beer to talk to her. And I was on the driveway in the front lawn. And one of the heads of running the security and police there, like one of the police chiefs came over and started talking to me. And me and him are like, I wouldn't say we're tight, but like we're on good terms because I've been doing these Hoko videos for several years now. And each time he's been there managing the crowds. So we're familiar with each other. He's very identifiable because he has the same skin condition that I do. But he came up to me and he's like, hey, you know, like let's work on how we can get people off the streets. Because what I do is I work with the police to help shut down sections of the street. They'll be like, hey, you want a megaphone? Tell people to walk that way. And then I just bring the army and just bring the herd, right?
Right.
Very primitive shit, like shepherd dog and sheep kind of
Kingston police could learn from that.
Yeah, you know,
Just saying.
pretty straightforward. But anyways, he was talking to me as I was drinking this beer, and I made sure I was like, you know, can I be standing here while I'm drinking this beer? And he's like, yeah, because I was on the sidewalk, or not the sidewalk, I was on the front lawn, and we got along, and it's all on video. Put that in the movie, and then these fucks decided that even though this was on penalty date, September 25th, they waited till October 12th to just hit daddy with 2 tickets in the fucking mail.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, so what's the total of these ticket bids?
Allegedly $1,300, but that's just what I've gotten so far. Yeah.
Dude, do you think Kingston's going to slap some on you too or what?
No, I don't think so. They shouldn't, because at nighttime we were doing interviews, right? Remember? We were doing interviews at nighttime.
Right.
And what happens is when you do interviews at night, people swarm around the light like flies to a light bulb. So a huge crowd started piling up on the corner, and there's a bunch of dudes on the sidewalk, some of them beers in hand. And I remember halfway through an interview, Kingston PD came up and they're like, look, if you guys don't get off the sidewalk and move right now, then you are potentially liable to a $2,000 charge. And I didn't even have any alcohol on me, right? But just from standing on the sidewalk, they were willing to flex that. And I literally said, I'm like, no problem, we'll move. And we started walking away so that the crowd would disperse, right? And you know, it's not a crime to walk down the sidewalk or on the road. Actually, we're gonna call the lawyer John, and
Lawyer
see.
John, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna give him a ring and see what he has to say about it. But essentially, yeah, they threatened to fine us, but instead of just fining us outright, they're like, look, can you move so that we don't have to fine you? And we moved. So not sure
Bro,
what
these tickets are bullshit. Like, is it,
yeah.
do we not live in a fucking free country where you can go on the street, like literally walk on a sidewalk, and if a stranger invites you into their home for a fucking beer,
Yeah.
you drink their beer like a real Canadian? Like I'm just saying the government is like going out of control.
Yeah, they're
Like
flexing,
if we
man.
can't even walk down the sidewalk at that point, what are we doing?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's actually bananas. Like, you know, the idea that I pay taxes and taxpayer money goes to educational institutions and roads being built, and I can't walk down my own road. It's not trespassing either. Like, this is not a trespassing ticket,
Bro, like
right? I feel like they made these laws up for Hoko specifically.
you're lucky you got a ticket, bro. Like they could have threw you right in the gulag with Chris Sky.
Yeah.
You know?
We don't know what happened to that guy.
Dude, he just disappeared.
He got vaxxed and he died.
Well, on that note, should we call Lawyer John?
Call Lawyer John.
Okay.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Oh, this shit's crazy. This will be a good segment, guys. A little lawyer calling.
Hello?
Hey, Lawyer John, how's it going, buddy?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good, man. I'm just on the Jack Denmo podcast.
All right. How's it going, guys?
Good, man.
Good, buddy.
Good.
We're going to follow up with some of the questions we had about this legal ticket I got here from the administrative monetary penalty.
All right.
So give us a rundown. You saw the image of it. What insight can you give onto the legitimacy of this ticket?
First of all, I just want to say, obviously, nothing I give you guys is actual legal advice.
Yep.
Allegedly.
Just,
Of course.
what's that?
Yeah.
I looked it up, and there is these bylaws came into effect a couple of years ago because, college towns like London, Kingston, Guelph were getting obviously impacted by all the parties that have been thrown by students and whatnot. So they've implemented these bylaws to make sure that they're able to control these situations, right? And it gives them a little bit of deterrence and, to the students to have these parties, right? Now, the interesting thing I saw in that ticket is that the section that was provided is that the street was closed and you guys were there. And that was the infraction, is that you guys were there when the street was closed.
Right.
And so is that the fact? Like, is that what happened? Like the streets were closed by police and you guys still went in there and partied?
Essentially what they do is they put a truck at the end of the street just to prevent traffic from coming in and taking out a bunch of people, which would be awful. But the sidewalks are accessible. The houses are accessible. The roads are accessible. Because it's a public street. It's not private property. It's not like a giant ranch that's owned.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if they've closed it, that's kind of where the bylaw stands, is that if it's been closed by the police for purposes of basically making sure that they shut down these kinds of parties, then they're able to give you those tickets. Unfortunately, I haven't found any case law or any similar situations where they've been fought in court, because it seems like there is no court for it.
it's pretty new, eh?
Well,
it just seems like it's an administrative body that oversees these tickets.
Yeah, it comes from the parking office, which I thought was interesting. I parked so far away in legal parking. It also says here that I attended a nuisance party because I essentially went into a fan's house and drank a beer out of a keg in his fridge.
Okay.
So that's an $800 ticket. That would be the other image I sent you.
and they put the fan's address on that ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you were an attendee, and that's the section that they wrote on it was the correct section, unfortunately.
But didn't we consensually enter his house to have a beer? If Jack stood on his front lawn and offered someone to come in for a beer, could they be ticketed for that?
If Jack is on his front lawn and he offered somebody to take a beer, could he be ticketed, or the other person?
The other person.
Yeah.
Yeah, they both can be ticketed. One, because Jack is the party organizer, and two, because the person that was taking the beer is an attendee.
Oh, man.
Right. So if I have a party on my front lawn, I can be liable for a ticket for drinking a beer in my driveway?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, public intoxication and drinking. Again, same thing.
Oh, my God.
And it's just so weird. It's honestly these bylaws, they were implemented, and there is no real avenue to fight the tickets, per se.
Right.
There is, I believe, you go in front of some sort of city council.
Yeah.
And kind of
Oh, good thing they like me.
Explain your situation.
That's a video right there.
Yeah.
What's that?
That's a video right there. Yeah, going to court wearing a crown and being like, boys, what's going on here? Why is this guy in my chair with my hammer?
Chugging beers in court.
Yeah.
So I got a ticket for... The first one's for
But-
walking down the road, and the second one's for drinking a beer on a private property, I guess.
Yeah, and again, like if that private property was deemed to have a party or considered to have a party or a nuisance party, like they like to call it, then that ticket would be warranted, right? It's just, honestly, I feel like one, it's a deterrent mechanism for the police to use, and two, realistically, it seems like a money grab to me as well, right? Like, I mean, if you guys are not causing problems and you're out of private property and there's no noise that's like insanely overboard, and it's during the daytime, for example. I'm assuming you guys got these during the daytime, right?
Yeah, it's ironic because the same time that I got these, like they wrote like a timestamp about 12, but I actually spoke to a police officer who comes to me in order to get help closing off sections of the street. And I was essentially being like, can I be drinking this beer right now? And he's like, yeah, you're fine. In different words than that. Because I had a pint of beer in my hand and I was standing on a driveway of the, people that own the house.
Yeah, and he said it was fine.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, it's weird because I did read about a scenario as well where an individual was having a party, and I think this was in Guelph. An individual was having a party, and a lot of people started showing up that he didn't know. So, and he couldn't really get rid of them, and so he called the police to come assist in essentially, escorting these people out. And then the next day, he got slapped by a $1,000 ticket for having a nuisance party. So essentially, he got a ticket because he was trying to get the police's help to get rid of these people. And then they told him, well, you should have called us when they first showed up, and before the party got out of hand. And he ended up getting that ticket, and he wasn't able to fight it either because it seems like these tickets are really not, there's no mechanism to fight them. It's probably if you go to the city councilors or city council meetings to discuss a ticket, it might get, reduced or dropped depending on the situation. But it's so new that there isn't any real information on them. And there is no court that actually takes them. That's the issue.
What?
Whoa.
So it's
Can't even go to court for this?
Oh, no, there is no court for it.
Wow.
Can we bring this to the Supreme Court theoretically?
No.
Definitely bigger fish to fry.
I feel like this goes against the Constitution of being able to have a beer,
I mean, from a cost analysis, benefit analysis, I'm pretty sure that's not even worth the money.
It says
I'd rather you pay the ticket, to be honest.
if unpaid amount due will increase on Halloween. So they're giving me 2 weeks to pay it, pretty much.
Is there? I can't see the full ticket. Is there anything in there? Yeah. So it seems like they do mention the screening request.
Yeah, there's
right?
a dispute
And
option.
That's the option.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the option where you go and speak with someone.
You know what?
I would go for the administrative screening, honestly.
Yeah.
Give it a try and see, explain your situation and see what they say. But realistically,
I feel like the police would take me into a closed room and beat the shit out of me if I did that. Yeah, well, I'm definitely going to try and dispute it. I think that'd be the quickest open and close case of all time. Total denial. The judge would get the hammer out and everything. But
Just say that you filmed that 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Prove it.
It was funny though.
No, I mean, at the end of the day, these tickets, again, they're just literally there for deterrence. I think part of the reason they're not even giving you a proper avenue to fight the ticket, I'm not even sure what happens in these administrative screening meetings. I mean, it says no attendance required. So I'm not really sure what you're supposed to do there. I mean, if you're not attending, so I guess maybe it's by phone or video call. But
real quick, lawyer John. In Kingston, it's a little different. What they do is they fine house owners $10,000, partygoers $2,000, and this is for people that actively invite people to the house. There were several houses that had signs up that said Bylaw, add it to our tab, basically flexing. One house we went to in particular allegedly has 10 bylaw violations. So right now they've racked up $100,000.
Jeez.
They're in a legal case.
But I've read somewhere that the first offense is 10,000.
Yeah.
And then the second offense is 25,000.
Whoa.
Oh man.
Yeah. So these guys might have racked up a lot more than $100,000.
They've been going for it.
Now, I don't know I think that the violations and offenses were a little different than this one, but, do you think that with an $100,000 tab to pay bylaw that they owe, do you think that would warrant more of a case and reason to go to court and fight that? Because that's a lot of dough.
It is, and what ends up happening is, I believe, if you don't pay these tickets in time, or you take a prolonged period, then you actually get a court summons to show up in court. And then it's not even. I mean, it's more so for them to press charges on you. But I guess that would be an avenue for you to argue against the tickets and why you shouldn't have the tickets. Right?
I feel really bad for these guys. 10 parties, $10,000 per party minimum. That's crazy. Imagine having a party and getting fined $10,000 because there's 100 kids on your grass.
But I mean, at the end of the day, don't do the crime if you can't do the time, right? If you know that these are the consequences. I mean, after the first ticket, I would assume you would say, okay, maybe it's not worth it. But 10 times, I mean, at that point, you're just an idiot.
They must be very confident in their ability to fight this, because $100,000 in one house, I mean, that's crazy. But we won't take any more of your time there, Lawyer John. Thanks for the insight on the ticky poos, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
No problem. Anytime.
Okay.
All right. See you, bro.
Okay, care, guys.
Bye.
Interesting insight. If you guys like it when we call in experts for the show to discuss issues, drop a comment below. I think that'd be a cool little segment. Shout out to Lawyer John, allegedly. Totally fake name. But he gave a little recap on the ticket situation, which is a little bit weird. It's all unknown territory. Essentially, these are all new laws that were put into place, and they don't actually have a court for it yet, whatever that means. Not much of a legal expert, but sounds like boys might be stuck footing the bill this time, which kind of sucks. $13 hangover, as they say.
Dude, we might have to start a little GoFundMe for the boys.
No. No GoFundMe for me.
Damn, dude.
Western definitely should meet with me and find out a way that we can work together, though, because millions of dollars of revenue is generated by these Hoko videos, and I work with the police, right? So let's make a deal, Prevent some beers being thrown.
Bro, it's a real shame that London did you like that. But
yeah,
you have a long history with London.
I do. Yeah, I've been banned there. Actually, I recently got banned from another university yesterday.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Which one?
McMaster.
No.
I know, the hometown.
What happened?
I just got it's funny because I've met with the head of McMaster several times about getting banned and unbanned. So this would be the third time I was banned from there, which means probably going to get unbanned. But the way that they sent the notice was so formal. They're like, hey, Jack, hope all is going well. Haven't talked to you in a while. By the way, you're banned.
Did they say why?
It just said PNG. Persona non grata means you're not allowed to enter, or you can get ticketed for trespassing.
Why are they speaking Greek?
Well, we live in a world.
No hate.
We live in a society, but I don't know. Essentially, it was because I was filming on their premises October 1st, which if anybody saw in the McMaster Hoko video was me going and meeting and giving a little motivational speech to a couple fans, shaking some hands, going into the store and supporting not only the Canadian economy or the Hamilton economy, but McMaster's economy by buying McMaster merchandise to proudly wear the following day. That was a bit too much for them, and they had to ban your boy.
That's a bannable offense right there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Dude.
Went in and bought a fucking sweater. What are we doing?
Bro, we live in a dark time.
Yeah.
You can't even buy a sweater, drink a pint.
Or sing the Canadian anthem.
What are we doing at this point?
Are we in Canada? Bananas. But yeah, I'm probably gonna get that taken care of though, because realistically, I already emailed him back like, yo, like let's meet up and discuss this, because last time I got banned was because, well, I've been banned a couple of times. The more entertaining one though is I banged a stuffed animal in the forest.
Whoa.
Yeah, banged a stuffed animal in the forest, and some kid walking by didn't speak English, so he called the cops on me because he didn't see that there was a stuffed animal. He thought I was attacking somebody. And when he called on the phone, he made it a lot worse than it sounded. So they thought there was like a assault, like people were fighting in the forest pretty much. Mm-hmm. They sent, the call went out to both the McMaster police, but also Hamilton police. Hamilton police picked up the radio. They're like, yo, we're in the area. We got this.
Oh,
2 cops came in. Okay. They came in. They're like, what are you doing? And I was like, literally, I walked out of the woods with a giant stuffed animal, you know, covered in dirt. And I'm like, I was filming a video. I was banging this giant stuffed animal. And they're like, really? No way. And I was like, yeah, totally. And they're like, we got to see that. Show us the video. And I did. And they're like, that's fucking hilarious. Male cop and female cop, by the way. Not just 2, you know, jacked up angry dudes. Male and female cop.
Right.
Showed them the clip. They laughed. Thought it was good. I explained what I was doing. And they're like, you know, okay, well, how about this, buddy? We'll put out a call saying that this is what you're doing. So that way the next time somebody calls on you, they know that it's been taken care of. Right. So they're like, where else are you going to film today? And I was like, I'm going to be at this waterfall, that hiking trail, you know, Two's Falls, Shadoke Falls, Ancaster, shout out, a couple local spots to bang stuffed animals for prank videos.
Of course.
They get on the radio. They're like, hey guys, if you guys get a call about mischief, assault, whatever, on these 3 locations, just tell them it's being taken care of and it's handled. There's a guy filming some stupid videos out there pretty much for a comedy show. And I was like, oh my God, that's perfect. And they're like, okay, no problem. We talked to Mac. We're on our way. Stay safe. Even got a photo. It was a photo of me holding a giant Kermit the Frog with the 2 police.
With a hole in it.
The editor
Just
can put that up on the screen. Yeah. The editor allegedly could put that up on the screen. But super cool, right? Anyways, a couple days go by. I didn't have enough clips for the video. I needed to film a couple extra. I'm like, fuck. So I went back to Mac on the trail, started filming the same thing. This time, the whole volleyball and track and field team ran by me stuffing this animal. It was like legendary clip. Oh. Once again, somebody called the police. This time, McMaster constables picked up the call. This dude came out, same thing. He was laughing his ass off. He's like, what the fuck? He comes out and he's like, hey man, like, look, this time, we're gonna, apparently they want you for something else on the campus. Apparently like some other prank I did, some people got pissed off. I did something in a library. They're like, we're gonna have to give you a ban for now. And I was like, okay. And they're like, yeah, you can't park here, you gotta leave. And I was like, fuck. So I went and fought that. I actually met with security services, allegedly. We had like a 2-hour discussion. And ironically, one of the topics that was brought up is HOCO.
Wow.
And one of the people in the security services allegedly told me, he's like, look, I had a family friend of mine that had a family member that passed away from binge drinking, right? So I'm super against HOCO. And, you bring thousands of people there. I want you to make sure that, you deter people from doing that. And I was like, look, I've had friends that have died too from similar shit. And I think binge drinking is obviously super stupid and awful. In high school, I wrote an essay for the legal. Basically, there was a law that got changed about if you're under the age of 18, but your parents are in the house, you're allowed to consume alcohol.
Oh, dope.
What happened though was some kid, him and all his boys were drinking at buddy's parents' house. And the parents, they thought it'd be a funny idea to duct tape the kid to the couch, put him outside, Oh. It was in Newfoundland or some shit, right?
Of course it was.
The Florida of Canada.
Oh.
So
what even happens out there?
Dude, yeah, so they just drink all the time. Screech is what they call it. They'll get a pint glass with 7 shots. It's fucking nuts, dude.
Oh my God.
By the way, got to make it out to the East Coast one of these days, guys. Halifax, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, PEI.
Couple Donairs out there.
Come see all you guys. We'll catch some fucking lobster, all right?
Let's go.
All you guys, incest fucks out there. I'm just kidding. But anyways, this is normal shit out there. But what happened was the guy had so much alcohol in the system that overnight he got hypothermia and he died. Yeah.
No.
So this poor dude died. And basically the family's like, yo, this is fucked up. Fuck you guys. We're suing you. But legally, as long as a parent is around, you're allowed to, if you're, look, when I'm having my kids in my house, having a little party, and I'm like fucking Father Denmo out on my ranch with all my beautiful children, and they want to have some beers, if I'm supervising, I'll allow it. I'm not going to tape a kid to a couch and put him outside.
Right.
But liability-wise, that was a gray area in the law. So I had to write an essay arguing both sides to it. So I'm very well aware of binge drinking and the legality of it, essentially. But anyways, when I met with the head of security service, he's like, look, just do what you can to deter people from doing stupid shit. And that's one of the reasons on the megaphone, I'm not screaming, drink 20 beers. I'm saying, stay safe, be responsible.
Right.
Obviously, if some dude's like, dude, I'm going to drink all this alcohol right now, I'll be like, do it,
You won't do it.
Yeah. Or, like now I wear the crown very ceremonially. It's an honor for people to be knighted in my videos. Like I show up, I get my sword, I pierce their alcoholic beverage safely. They get on a knee, finish the drink, and then I knight them. And they get a handshake, a hug, and they're fucking heroes. They're Hoko heroes.
Yeah.
Right? And that's an experience I'm not going to stop doing. But anyways, to segue back, we had a really good conversation, and he unbanned me because he knows I'm just making funny videos, right? He understands. And then I got linked up with the security at some schools, allegedly, which probably publicly would not want to, say this. But essentially, I had a relationship where, hey, guys, I'm going to be on campus filming today. That way, if some students called in to security, like, hey, like, why is there this guy filming? Like, what's going on? They could be like, yep, no problem. It's getting handled. Just like the police did when I did the stunt on the trail, right? And, they, they'd cruise around while I'm filming, stop, be like, hey, like, what are you filming today? And they'd be like, oh, that's hilarious, Yeah. One guy said it'd be a good idea for me to do, like, Avengers on campus because I did the Batman prank, Spider-Man. Anyways, though, once again, I think just because McMaster and Hamilton caught so much fucking flack for this heater of a Hoko at McMaster, once again, Buddy's like, all right, let me send him an email and ban him. But, boys are going to work on it.
It just makes sense, buddy. But you know what? I think they're going to see the Queen's Hoko uniting people and change their mind. And speaking of uniting people, buddy, this weekend we've got another Hoko coming up. And it seems like someone may be getting christened in a different type of way. Before we talk about that, though, can I go pee and then we can segue perfectly into Virgin Squad?
You can go pee quick. I'll continue on here.
Okay, buddy.
So, guys, I essentially am banned from every relevant university in Ontario. Even if I wanted to show up, film a bunch of pranks, I couldn't do it. Like, I get spotted. Police are on my ass. Security are on my ass. They're just looking for reasons to fine and ticket me, even though realistically I'm just filming harmless prank videos. And they're in public, right? So technically it's public property because schools are subsidized by taxes and the government. And when you pay taxes, you're contributing to institutions that are educational institutions, colleges. Duh. But anyways, I'm fucking banned from Western, Brock, Guelph, and McMaster now, okay? So I would have to drive 3 or 4 hours just to shoot a couple videos, right? It's crazy. It goes hand in hand with me maturing content-wise in order to move on to the next thing I'm doing, like this podcast, acting, screenwriting, movies, all that dumb shit. But realistically, like, I can't film anymore on campuses. Like, I am banned, okay? And sure, I could go film in, like, an intersection in the middle of the street. But even bars now, like, you can't go in a bar without a mask. You can't have a certain amount of people in the bar. You can't have a certain amount of people at a club. Even gathering more than a handful of people together outside, even if it's like a public park or a street, that's a ticket now. It's a bylaw offense. Like, all you guys that are worldwide listeners out here, you have no idea how crazy it is here in Ontario. We're locked down still, almost 2 years later. It's bananas. Anyways, let's segue to the next thing. This year, Queens is doing 2 Hokos, which is unprecedented.
Whoa.
2. First time ever.
Double Hoko.
Double Hoko. Doko. Hoko Foko. Poco. Everybody saw the 16th, and they're like, holy fuck. The ones that missed out on that. Like, pour some drinks out for all the people that didn't come up on the 16th.
FOMO they must have.
Oh, my God. Like, oh, it was at the cottage. It was a reading room.
Oh, my God.
Not even going to happen. Yeah, it happened.
Wow.
So this one, it's going to be probably way more out of control. I think that I did a good service to Kingston PD and Queen's University by making a fucking hour-long movie showing the first one and then telling people, don't flip vehicles, don't damage property, don't drink too much or do too many drugs, and respect police, because this is looking like it could potentially be the littest Hoko of all time.
It might have to be.
Because Queens goes the hardest. They went the hardest this year. And now all the people that missed out that go to Queens, they're going to want to capitalize on that.
They're making up for lost time.
A lot of FOMO. Yeah.
Dude. And you're going to bring a virgin to the double Hoko.
Yeah. So I told you guys about this in the last video. I've done Taking a Virgin to the Club several times now. First one was in 2019, hour and a half long movie. Shout out to the OG Virgin Squad fans.
Yeah.
Shit was a movie. Then we did the TV series format, which was cool as well. We have a couple different variations of it. We have Taking a Virgin to the Club. We have Virgin Squad. We have Virgin Wars, where we get virgins and we make them compete against each other, like do challenges and shit. Just like people are gonna watch, like, yo, is all this guy do fucking stupid virgin content? Those are all in the works though. But I was at Hoko and I was like, holy fuck! Like, Hoko is about the Hoko movie, the interviews, the vlogs, meeting the fans. You know, there's like a iconic structure to it, but I would never want to waste a Hoko on Taking a Virgin to the Club because it's important for me to do the Hoko video. Mm-hmm. But this year I have a unique opportunity because there's 2 for the same school.
We're spoiled this year.
Literally spoiled this year, yeah. The Queen's Hoko movie's already done. And after I filmed this, Taking a Virgin to fucking Hoko, I don't have to spend 40 hours straight getting it up for Monday. I could take 3 months to edit this thing. And I'm going to be filming stuff afterwards too. We have all kinds of new stuff in wraps for this Virgin Squad series. Or it could be a movie. I'm not sure. I could do either movie or series. I want you guys to let me know what you like more. But even though these things, I lose money when I make them because, you know, I use Led Zeppelin, Rolling Stones, all that shit. We're going to do a huge release of merchandise for the Virgin Squad movie / series when it comes out in the coming weeks. But yeah, we're taking a fucking Virgin to Hoko, which is, you know, you're taking the Hoko iconic movie and street party and then the iconic Taking a Virgin to the Club and Virgin Squad series, and you're combining them together. It's just absolute fucking madness.
It's carnage at that point.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't even think Nell could copy that idea.
Oh, they've probably already thought of a way to copy it. They love copying my videos and not giving me credit. But everybody knows the real one. Everybody knows the real shit.
King of the North, baby.
Bro, they even know what's up. Like, they, you know, low key, they love my videos. Like, they watch them and they take the ideas, and it's a bit of an honor in a way because millions of people watch them, but who do they watch?
Daddy Denmo.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways,
That's
I
huge.
think that
you're the YouTuber that other YouTubers watch.
Pretty much, yeah. But I think that it would be really cool to do something with them in the future. But like, that's not how that's not how you go about it. You don't steal somebody's idea and then be like, hey, sorry. You know?
Full send up your fucking ass.
Think about all the great fucking pranks and shit we could run together.
Yeah.
You know? It's weird.
Together, you know, we could achieve extraordinary things.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, same content, same niche. We were going to collaborate actually before. They wanted to run a prank at lectures in, I want to say fall 2019. They reached out. They're like, yo, let's do some pranks for, Instagram pranks. They wanted to do.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But, you know, schmovid happened. Boys went to the States and then one thing led to another. And, yeah, they just jacked me pretty hard. Well, it wasn't them. The whole crew are all really nice guys. The ones I've met, they're all super cool. Like, we get along. But, you know, there's one person calling the shots. And they're the ones that are following his orders, right? So, you know, no beef, realistically. But anyways, as far as Virgin Squad at Hoko, oh, man. Like, I'm already imagining how crazy it's going to be because we're going to be going in there in suits.
Dude.
You know, on the way here, buddy's like, yo, maybe we shouldn't do suits because they're going to get really dirty.
They're going to get so wrecked, bro.
Oh, super dirty, bro. We're going to get covered in mud.
And then go into the club in mud-covered suits. Yeah. That's some fucking...
Yeah.
Canada Goose shit. Well, what was that Duck Hunter show?
Remember Mudman?
Duck Dynasty?
Remember Mudman? Do you guys remember that from the old Poco video? The dude that fucking dove in the mud?
That guy.
That was good.
Bro.
Yeah.
That guy, whatever happened to that guy? R.I.P.
Yeah. Honestly, no, some girl messaged me. She's like, yo, Mudman's at my house.
No
Yeah,
way.
in the middle of Queens. I'm like, well, you know, between me and you, there's 6,000 people.
Yeah.
You know?
Better luck next time.
Dude, I'm so pumped because, like, it's so cool when you roll into a school and then all the fans are like messaging you like, yo, come here, come here. We actually had like fucking 15 DMs just in the last 2 days. People like, yo, we got a virgin in Kingston. Can you bring him? Like, girls are nominating their male friends. Dude, a female virgin messaged me.
No.
Yeah, but we can't do that, bro. Canceled so quick. It's a big double standard, bro.
I think it would be empowering in a way.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it would be, but it'd be also a 5-minute video. Hey, who wants to have sex with me?
Well, the role of the Virgin Squad would change quite quickly.
Yeah. I was on the news today with some newspapers and TV stations, and they were asking me about Hoko, and then I kind of told them about how for years I've been taking virgins out and doing this series and movie shit. And I told them that I'm bringing one to Hoko, and they're like, well, you know, I don't know, like that sounds crazy, right? And then I brought up the idea of like bringing a female virgin to the club, and they were like, whoa, no, can't do that.
That's going too far, eh?
Yeah, there's a big double standard for that, you know? One thing I want to touch on too, I actually did a Friend Club podcast, which is a new podcast I'm working on, allegedly, secretly, about this, and I'm going to have the guys on. A bunch of students from McMaster are getting in trouble with the university because they hung up a sign on their house that said, "Daddy issues, drop off here." Apparently, that goes against the code of conduct.
What?
Yeah.
They're doing a public service.
Well, it gets more interesting, okay? I've met these guys we went to their we were there.
Yeah.
But also
Great guys.
At Queens, I ran into one in the middle of the street, and they DM'd me as well. I got their contact info, so we're going to do something with them. But basically, the school's trying to I don't know if they're trying to press fines on them or like evict them from the house or suspend them, but they're doing some shit to these guys. They're trying to fuck them over. But I know the real story. What's ironic is that girls allegedly made that sign and brought it over.
No.
Yeah. Because girls are way better at art. Let's be honest. Like, they know what they're doing.
It's true. If anyone can spray paint a bed sheet, it's girls.
But also, I was at that party, and it was like 80% girls. Like, we have photos of us on that porch posing with like 60 kids, and 70% of them are women.
In a way, you could say the sign kind of worked.
Literally, bro. And
it's
like
great marketing.
It's like, you know, another thing too, I actually have photos here. This is important. I'm going to show the camera these. Because I think there's a real double standard. Like, obviously nobody wants to promote some kind of negative sexual culture and misogyny, but it's a two-edged sword, right? So here's a sign from, let me just get my brightness up quick. Sorry, you fucks that are watching and not listening. By the way, we're on Apple and Spotify now. Western girls use teeth, okay? This was Queens girls shitting on Western girls for using teeth. Correction.
So the Queens girls are saying that they are better at giving oral fellatio.
They're basically saying we give blowjobs better because we don't use teeth.
Wow.
Now I have another poster here.
Which is true, by the way.
Yep. Looking for Queens DILFs, okay? For those of you out there that live under a fucking rock, DILF means dad I'd like to fuck, right? And we got some girls here posing in front of it. So we have a sign, daddy issues, drop off here, which is a problem. But a sign that says, looking for Queens dads I'd like to fuck, essentially the female version of that sign. We're all good. That's okay.
Wow.
No canceling over that. I think I got one more on here. There's a bunch, guys.
You came
honestly,
prepared, eh?
There's so many of these that it's ridiculous. Yeah, same thing. Okay, here's the same sign. We've got a fresh group of girls posing in front of that one. Queens DILFs, same shit.
Love to see it.
Yep, looking for Queens DILFs. Bunch of chicks posing next to it. We got Westerns. Here we go. Western smells like bad pussy. Western smells like bad pussy. And we got 3 beautiful, lovely ladies posing in front of that.
Wow.
Essentially, there's a double standard where women are allowed to promote their sexuality and, you know, call out the daddies to come visit. But if guys say daddy issues, drop off here, there's a big red flag. And I think it's bullshit. So I'm going to be interested to hear their story, what they're going through. Like, people forget that there's a huge hookup culture amongst young people. Like, they have sex. They also shit on each other's schools, right? Like, you have all these girls from Western that hate Queens people. Queens people hate Western. Like, that's the real beef, you know? Like, if you want to go by what actually goes down at these events, you see Western and Queens dudes getting into brawls, throwing down. Yeah. Like, huge chance of, you know, fuck Queens at Western. Huge chance of fuck Western at Queens. That's a, you know, it's very primal. And also, everybody's joking, too. Right?
Yeah.
You know, it's
like there were girls at that house that didn't have daddy issues as well.
No.
You know, they didn't all just get dropped off with daddy issues. Like, some of them were perfectly mentally sane.
Society needs to let young people make decisions. Like, when you turn 18, you could become a stripper. Okay. You could be nude and have 55-year-old men put money down your underpants. But you can't put a sign up that says, DILFs, please come. Like, what are we doing? What is this double standard we have here? Montreal, you can go get absolutely shit blasted for your birthday. You know, Canada's different than the rest of the world. Like US, they have a drinking age of 21. But
Oh, that would suck.
yeah, I think it's stupid, this fucking cancel culture we have. What happened is, you know, one really angry chick with pink hair got mad on Twitter. Everybody retweeted it. Probably people that didn't go out and party, you know. I had this thing I was talking about on the last podcast. The internet is what you do when you're not doing anything else, okay? Now, if you're enjoying a podcast while you're at work, that's a little different. But like if you're on Twitter looking at people you can cancel, make false allegations against, complain, and just stack on with your fucking pitchforks nice and sharp, you're a fucking loser. Please stop doing that because you're ruining people's lives. You're ruining people's lives that are students going to school for something that could potentially change the world, right? These guys are probably in STEM or business or something. And they have fun once or twice a year, have some fucking beers, and they like to have sex. Wow.
Sue me.
Cancel them. Holy fuck.
Wow.
And all the people that are in that cancel culture, I don't hate or despise you guys. I'd actually like to hug you. And I'd like you to listen to a conversation like this. I don't want to just say fuck you. You know, I'm not very divisive. But anyways, to segue out of that, we're going to be at Queens this weekend, October 23rd. I don't know if this will go up before that, but the Real Virgin Squad is taking a virgin to Hoko. We're going to go see a bunch of fans. And I'm actually pretty laid back about this one too, because I don't have to wear a crown. I don't have to knight people. I can just take it easy. It's not about me. It's about the virgin. It's about the fans. And it's about the boys wearing suits. You know, it's going to be so much more laid back, guys. Like doing these Hokos, you're basically going to war, you know?
It's true.
You got fucking 3 dudes, different cameras pointing. You got all these people you're taking selfies with. You're piercing beer cans, like, you know, interviewing people. This, I'm just going to show up and say hey and get chicks and guys to boost our virgin. Because Virgin Squad is not about the kill. It's not about the fucking kill. It's about being okay with being a virgin and being empowered by the idea that, look, not everybody has sex as soon as they, you know, get a boner or whatever. I don't know where I was going with that.
You know what? I'm pretty excited that we just get to like take a little bit of a backseat and chill, and like instead of accepting all these day kills, we can just pass them right off to the virgin. Like
That's
it's
right.
gonna be a real sigh of relief to not have to, you know, complete all the day kills.
Guys, calling it now. They're coming after day kills. Day kills are getting canceled. Day kill is going to become a misogynistic word, even though I have hours of footage of girls saying that day kills are empowering. And like, watch the Queen's video. It's this weird world we live in. Like, everybody's trying to fuck everybody over. It's like, let young people have fun in their 20s, you know? But anyways, yeah, I'm looking forward to taking a huge fucking break too, guys, because, you know, my health is declining from editing 40 hours in a row every single weekend for Hoko season. You know, trying to build a podcast and get into the other stuff, right? So there's an old saying though, never let a good crisis go to waste. So that's why I've been talking so much about Hoko. But future episodes, we're going to have on high-level guests, you know, entrepreneurs, comedians, doctors, scientists. We got some rock stars coming on too.
Really?
Yeah. Some local Toronto bands are going to come on, which is really fucking cool.
That's huge.
We also got, I don't want to spoil it. We got some really cool people coming on.
Do you have like Machine Gun Kelly coming on? Or?
No. Don't have Machine Gun Kelly coming on. But yeah, guys, drop a comment below who you want to see from the Toronto area on here. Check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. We're also on Instagram too, and TikTok. We got some reels going on there. Before we part, just be a better person, you know? Try to forgive others when they do stupid things to you. And I'm not talking about when people defecate in your driveway to all you house owners watching, pissed off. But just in general, you know, be more mature. And for fuck's sake, guys, if you go to Hoko, don't damage any properties, don't overdose on drugs, and respect the police. And then everything will be okay. And also, share this video with your friends, because the best way for a podcast to spread is organically. So if you guys want to do me a solid, obviously hit the like button, write a review, give it 5 stars, but share this with your friends. Send it to somebody that wants to know what it's like to be a man in their 20s or a woman in their 20s. Anybody in the 18 to 30 age range that wants to learn about how to be successful in small business or in school, or just understand the culture of Canadian society, be like, yo, my buddy Jack. Yeah, tell him you're friends with me. Be like, yo, my boy Jack has
Name
a podcast.
drop that, eh?
Name drop. Yeah, me and Denmo, we fucking...
We go way back.
Yeah. Denmo's like, yo, dude, send this to you. Yeah, give him the pod, and then word of mouth, it'll go. And then if you get here because of that, drop a comment. Be like, yo, shout out Johnny for giving me a fucking, you know, invite to the Denmo experience. Anyways, guys, I'll see you later. Love you all. Bye.
Peace.